And the mother was beside herself about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're gonna fast forward a little bit. We're burning through time. Falling through the cracks. So we know she goes in the house. Something happens. Y'all should watch that episode. The episode has some of the best scenes in it, and the father does give a really poignant declaration. There's a lot of Emmy-worthy scenes in this show. Falling through the cracks. Marissa jumps through the window, breaks her leg for sure. Then we have our episode where it's the first 48 all over again. And it is magical. It is a reenactment, just like the first 48, with fake pictures and everything, going over what happens. And this black detective, whose also last name is Green, realized Dre's last name is Green later on. She realizes everybody's been looking in the wrong place. Everybody's been looking in the wrong place, and she dies. The live show stopped. It
No,
did.
it's still going. It went off.
Okay.
No, it's still rolling.
Okay. Yeah. We saw that. We saw that happen. So falling through the cracks. So we saw the first 48. And this black woman, just keen on the clues, because people don't pay attention to black women, realize y'all been looking in the wrong place for the serial killer. All this stuff is connected. It's a black woman going place to place across multiple states, across multiple years. Because people don't understand, Dre's been killing since 2016. It is now 2018. And it's interesting. Donald puts himself in this, talking about writing this show. And also, they said some boy goes on stage and attacks Nigel. And they got him in custody.
Yeah. And even they show like the security footage of that dude rushing the stage.
Yeah, it's like Dave Chappelle getting rushed.
Yeah.
It's like the Dave Chappelle rushing.
This was an interesting episode on the social network scene. That's the other thing that's really cool about Donald Glover's projects, is that you need to watch them in the time that they happen, because he disrupts social media. It's only for a day or two, but he disrupts it enough that makes it fascinating. And the disruption on social media came from this episode because some people believed that the players playing the recreation of the first 48 was the real actual footage of the first 48, showing the real actual family members, if you can believe that.
Wow.
Just like how people believed the real, the goof that sits by the door was a very real thing. It disrupted, like people were really like, what episode was this? And which, like, people were really believing that they were telling the true story. Because a lot of times when you see like these narratives, you know, especially when it comes to something like the Jeffrey Dahmer story or whatever it is, they'll take a moment and be like, well, we'll show you real footage of what really happened. And, you know, during these times and events. And it played like that, you know, but even though it played like that, it was still a work of fiction. But it still had realms of reality, because it showed the Donald Glover interview. And you're like, it's just a complete mind fuck.
Yes.
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's one of the best episodes of television ever written.
It's like, what the hell is going on? And he tells what gets me, Donald Duck Glover in that thing. He tells you, he's like, I'm writing this thing called Swarm, and it's got these actors and actresses, and they show you the actors and actresses, and it's like, what is happening? But it's not real. But it is real. But they said in the beginning that this is based on this.
But his red carpet interview was real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dog. It's a lie wrapped around a truth.
No, but here's another thing too, because it seemed like all of those interviews in the beginning were live, because all those people, they kept bleeping out where people were actually saying Beyonce's name. They weren't saying Naja. They were saying Beyonce. So it's like, wait a minute. These are real, like, because we know that this is based on Beyonce. And so now in the first 48 episode, they're actually saying Beyonce. It's like, is this shit real? Like,
they're actors. Yeah.
When was this episode? I didn't even see this episode.
That's what I'm saying. Dog, is brilliant. It's It's brilliant television, man.
Like, I built your mind up on this story for 5 episodes. It's kind of the penultimate episode. And then the resolution episodes, what really happened on that when that girl hit the stage. So we know that the black woman is going to Atlanta to actually ask this girl what's going on. And she's a killer to close the case. And then we go into episode.
We know she's caught.
We know she's caught.
Yeah, we know she's caught because they showed her. They showed her mugshot from.
Yes, because we go into episode 7. Dre is that boy that was on the stage. A whole different person. She is like the nonchalant fuck boy, stud. She's the fuck boy stud who was talking to Rashida. And Rashida took to her for some reason because Dre was doing a car service in a car that we knew she didn't pay for.
Mm-hmm. Right, because she had like a Mercedes SUV, didn't she?
Yeah.
That she was sleeping out of.
And then the very next day, police found that shit. That one had low jack on it.
Yep. And
but she was on the run. She's been on the run like for God knows how long, still building a whole new relationship and still on the run in a relationship.
And she didn't want the relationship at first, but she found Marissa inside of Rashida. And but Rashida had one thing she didn't like. She didn't care for Nigel. And she thought she could force that. She went, and what she do? The same thing she did in the first episode.
Yeah, which is what tainted the first episode.
Yep.
As she was doing it, she said, "I love you."
Yeah.
And she's choking her out.
Yep.
The most personal of all kind of kills is to kill somebody with your bare hands. This is the most personal.
Yeah.
She over here.
Nigel tickets for their anniversary. It was Dre gets Nigel tickets for their anniversary.
Now that is another death that did actually happen. The Rashida character really did happen.
Yeah, in real life.
Yeah. So the Rashida happened in real life. The strippers happened in real life. You can see the real strippers mugshots on. You can go online and see the real strippers mugshots on there. That really happened. And then there's like one more
that really happened.
Yeah.
The bite really happened.
The bite really did happen. Yes. Beyonce did say she did get bit, but she hasn't disclosed who it is. But Tiffany had it.
She's gonna hit the death penalty. And especially if they, what I'm saying, if she's commuted back, if they, extradite her back to Texas, there is death penalty in Texas. Like, so because if you think about it, the first, Marissa, the first one's there.
Yeah.
So,
Chuck, I cut you off, man. What were you saying?
I was gonna say nah. But it's very interesting. It's very interesting that only God makes happy endings. And so even in her getting carried away, she pictured it was Nigel carrying her into the car when she got arrested by the police.
Yeah. And and it was weird. It was weird too that really because what I'm saying, like when she first got up on stage, when she first got up there in the concert, it was Nigel singing to her. But by the time she got up on stage, Nigel's face had morphed into Marissa's. He's like
the two pillars. She finally made it.
Chuck, you're right. It was the merging of the two pillars, the two things that held true. You're right, man. I didn't even peep that, but you're right.
Yeah. The two pillars of her life. Yeah.
Yo, and Rashida was gonna give her the life too if she'd have just not been silly.
Man, Rashida was like, I'm the only one working, covering the bills, blah, 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 blah. Same thing. She was
because like even when they got into the argument, she said, what I'm saying, she know how that hurts me, where I had to go borrow money from my parents to pay for the pay the rent.
Marissa.
Same thing with Marissa.
It was like we got the full story of Marissa's story. Because we gotta understand, first episode was all of Dre's story. We didn't get Marissa's story. In the last episode, we kind of got alluded to Marissa's story through Rashida.
No, but here's the thing though. Through Rashida's story, you know, damn near the exact same argument happened. She pulled out the tickets, you know, same response happened to the tickets. I'm leaving, I'm leaving. She chokes the life out of her or whatever. I love you, I love you, I love you. And it's almost like it was a mirror of the first episode. And that right there hurt my feelings because I was like, I understood that she was an unreliable storyteller. But when I saw that, I was like, wait, what the? So does that mean, oh shit, like I didn't see it. Like it was, oh, some old Sixth Sense shit. Like I didn't see it. And it got me because I was like, wow, that, yeah. He pulled one over on my head. Like I knew she was a nut, but I didn't see that one. I thought if anything, that was her catalyst. That was her tipping point that tipped her over the edge because, like Centel keeps saying, one of those pillars was gone. So she didn't have that anchor to hold on to anymore and to be solid. But the fact that she took it out, I didn't even see that at all.
What do you think?
You know, to be honest, the only reason my rating at the beginning of the show was a mini meal only because my thought is I can only get through this one time. And for most movies, I can watch them multiple times and spot all the different things. I couldn't even bring myself to do it with this. So my thinking was, if someone asked me, should they watch this? I don't know how to respond to that. So, and that's why I just took middle of the road because I don't know if I can actually suggest this to people. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, okay, I heard about that. What's that about? Oh, like, I don't know. So my bad. I just
Centel, what did you think of the last episode?
It's called what? Only God Makes Happy Endings. And it took that because her reality is screwed. She's screwed. She's going to prison, and she's probably going to sit on old Sparky. But God has blessed her with insanity. You know, so in her head, she got the happy ending. Like she won. Like it's game, set, match. And I'm assuming we are to believe that she's going to maintain this belief just forever. She's going to live in this state of bliss or whatever it is and disassociate completely. Because there for a moment, she was almost healed. She almost got out of it. And it was just, you know, her lover, you know, insulted her, insulted the one thing, there's only two things that gave her love. And she insulted the other one, and you just can't come back from that. Like, yeah, I'm glad it ended in a way that makes you think. I'm glad that they're not explaining neither creator, neither Glover or I forgot the young lady's name, Nabbers. They're not explaining the ending. They're just like, you know, you interpret it how you need to interpret it. And I love that. Don't give us no answers.
yeah.
It's way better this way. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, even an answer may not be an answer. That may be you wrote it this way, you intended this way, but you know, my interpretation of it is not that. So, no, I like the way that they kind of left it open ended, and you make your own determinations.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Janine Neighbors. She's a playwright. She may be one of the best writers of all time. And that Donald's like, hey, I got this $1 billion. I'm about to share it with you. Let's do it.
So was it Donald or Steven wrote a lot of this with Neighbors, right?
Oh, she wrote most of it. He wrote one episode. He was on one episode.
And then Malia.
He was on 2 episodes.
Malia wrote
by a new name, right? Malia Alice. Malia Ann. She was on episode 5, the one with the phone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the dad. Yeah. I heard she wrote the dad scene. Like, this is Texas. I shoot you go have my beer. I like Malia got chops.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many people watched Watchmen, right? not the movie, but the TV series, the HBO series Watchmen.
Mhm.
And Neighbors was a producer on that. So, and
Oh.
I loved Watchmen. Watchmen was just another
Oh,
one of those like,
phenomenal.
yeah. And when I had found out, I think it was Chuck that actually even told me, and I was like, oh, she was like one of the people that put Watchmen together, because that was a ballsy move to make Watchmen. Like that took some. I can't even imagine pitching that, you know. And then not only pitching it, but then getting it made, and it being good on top of it. It's just like, damn. So just off the strength of that alone,
having a whole plan for season 2.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a whole different
yeah. So Nabbers, like, that was the only thing that I really knew, and that she had like written on some previous episodes of Atlanta. But you know, I mean, it's these brilliant minds, man. I've said this a million. I'm sorry, I know I'm over here grabbing this microphone, but I've said this a million times. I think the brilliance and the thing I love the most about these Donald Glover projects and projects like this is that it gives Black creatives and creatives of color the opportunity to be weird and to be different. Because a lot of times, so many times, man, you just couldn't risk being weird because you get canceled and it's a wrap. But they gave, I don't know how much money Amazon gave them, but Chuck says it's close to $1 billion. I mean, I've heard it's 8 figures, at least 8 figures. You know, you can make mistakes with 8 figures, you know. Yeah. and I applaud the risk, man, because this is not for everybody, my guy, at all. It's not. And like Rakai said, man, how do you, it's tough to even recommend. You know, it's like,
for people that like horror, though. Do you think this is for people that like horror, suspense, or thrillers?
Well, here's the thing. Him and Jordan Peele are ushering a whole new subgenre of horror. You know, a whole new subgenre. Like we tried a little bit in like the late 90s to kind of do Black horror, but it didn't really take off, and it kind of followed the same formula as the contemporaries before that. This new horror that's coming out that Jordan Peele is putting out, and this new suspense stuff that Glover's putting out, it's a whole other thing, man. It's a whole, you know, and you can't do that unless you can have the space to take risks. And you can't take risks unless you got money to back that up, and Glover has that, you know. And I'm happy. And I'm also warning people too that don't get it twisted, man. You can't be out there on the ledge like that and not make mistakes and have some flops. So expect some misses.
Yeah.
There's no way. That's just what happens when you take risks. So expect some misses and respect the creator enough to be like, I believe in you, that I'll let that miss slide and I'll still keep supporting you, because there will be misses. Make no mistake.
Yeah, I hope that Donald's money is what Lamar Jackson wants. It's guaranteed money. Like, man, after I get a miss, I still got the rest of it to keep on creating. Like, you know what I'm saying? This was just a fluke. This was a one-off. Like,
I heard it was solidified. Like he has it.
I hope so.
I mean, Guava Island was not a hit.
It was not
unique, but it was not a hit.
Yeah, and there'll be more of that though. Yeah, we should prepare ourselves for that. There will be misses.
Question. I have a question before I go to the last question. Would y'all see a season 2 of this?
I hope they don't do that. No, I don't want a season 2.
What if it's not with Dre, but a whole different fan?
Here's the thing, man. I go back to the chances, right? I want him to keep churning out something that I can't see coming. You know, we've done the Swarms, this type of serial killer thing. I want him to do something different. You know,
no, because I believe, you know, I believe at that point he becomes M. Night Shyamalan. You caught lightning in a bottle, and you had a huge hit, and you know what I'm saying, it was off the rails. Don't try to recreate that. Don't do what most execs do and say, you know, hey, we need to do the same thing again, but let's make it bigger. And no.
Britney Spears one more time. Okay. Now my next question, because we're running long. What do y'all re-rate this? We'll start with you. We'll start with you, Centel. What do you re-rate it?
If I could go even stronger, here's the thing though. Like Rakai said, if I watched it the first go around, I probably would have just given it a full meal. But if you have to be a certain type of a TV watcher in order to see something like this again, you know, not everybody's that type of TV watcher. And if you're not, you know, it would probably stay at a full meal. But for me, even reiterating with other people that I know that enjoy film and television as much as I do, it's a strong binge worthy to me. It's it's the replay value is just incredible.
Mm-hmm. Rakai?
My answer is the same but different.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
This is not my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
However, I did enjoy watching it. I did enjoy this discourse because, like Centel said, this is a complete mind fuck. Like it, since this has went off, I have been thinking about this damn show, and I can't express how I can't express this show. Like I can't tell anybody else about this show. I don't even know if I would suggest anyone else watch a show unless I knew that this was your thing. But I think for me, I played it safe to go middle of the road. So I think I would actually re-rate it a full meal. And
Okay.
that's only because to me, BingeWorthy has high replayability factor. And this maybe it does have high replayability factor, but not for me. I can't watch this shit no more. No. I'm already seeing my therapist is planning new vacations on other parts of the world. But no, you can't get no more of my money because of Swan. Hell no.
Okay. I always wanted to rate this a binge worthy, and at first I said full meal because it is a hard watch, especially you're not into the show. But after talking to you all, I'm moving up to a binge worthy. I think that people need to watch this show. I think you have to binge it. There's no other way to watch it. You couldn't do this week to week.
No.
If you're not tapped out by episode 1, you're definitely tapped out by episode 3.
Yeah.
The hope that it gets better is in the binging of this show. I hope it gets better for everybody that runs across this girl's path. I hope one day she turns a new leaf and becomes a good human being. We hope and we kind of root for her a little bit, even though as psycho as she is, and she presents herself as off-kiltered. And it's subtle and it's not cute, but people still gravitate to it and want to be there and console her and dote over her. And she's a cold-blooded killer. But with that being said, 2 binge worthies and a full meal, we knocked it up to a binge worthy.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a show that's going to be talked about for years. There's going to be whole classes on Donald Glover and the masterpieces he's put out, from his music to his music videos to his shows and his movies. And this is definitely going to be one people going to be like, holy shit, what the fuck did I just watch? I can imagine sophomores and juniors in film school watching this like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Here's the thing about what Donald Glover's putting out now. It's like, can we continue to get this type of brilliance? Like,
he's done 3 seasons of Atlanta, and they all hit. And
Guava Island was
America, that video hits. And
Guava
then
Island wasn't brilliant.
it was not brilliant, but it was a music video for Rihanna. People don't realize that.
Still wasn't brilliant for either one of them.
No. But it was part of Because the Internet, his album Because the Internet.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of it. It's part of the island performing art piece.
I'm hoping that he kind of like embodies the RZA, and because the very first Wu album is probably, to me, is one of the greatest Wu albums of all time. The Reverse 36 Chambers. It's RZA at his best, absolute best. And then he realizes, I don't know if I can keep maintaining this level of excellence, so I'm gonna support other people and bring the best out of them, and then maybe put a little bit of myself into some of their projects. And I think we may be seeing that with talent like Janine Nabbers.
Yeah,
she's definitely of that cut. She's cut from that same type of cloth.
But not only Janine, just think about, so the report also came out that Malia Ann is doing a short film project, and he is completely backing it. He's bankrolling or whatever. He's backing it, and he said he had a sit down talk with her and told her, look, you are who you are. You can only do this once. because if it bombs, you will never live that down. You know, no one will ever give you another chance. So you know, there's another one. We always talk about Donald, but Steven has his own brilliance. You know what I'm saying? When are we going to see a Steven project? You know, backed by Donald, but a Steven project, because I think that can be something absolutely amazing.
Stephen Glover has me most excited. People don't know he is the voice of Paperboy, so he rapped all those songs.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't Tyreek. Tyreek can't rap. Stephen Glover rapped all those songs. And
I didn't know that.
yeah, he rapped and wrote all those songs.
Okay. Okay.
You know, he's 34 years old. He also was the writer for the Donald Glover Childish Gambino episode for Saturday Night Live.
Okay. Okay.
Also, he wrote Guava Island too, and he's one of the screenwriters on House Party. People don't know that about him.
You mean you're talking about the remake, right?
Like,
I wouldn't brag about that, but that's fine. I'm glad we're in a space that Black folks can make mistakes and bounce back.
Yeah,
Listen, that's what I'm happy about.
Ronnie film, so he's one of the let's talk about the powerhouse in Donald's Camp, Hero Murai. Hero is a great director. He directed all the dope episodes of Atlanta. He directed. Then this motherfucker, when I said I'm going to do Lemonade, and he shot all the Lemonade. So Donald, they didn't give money to Donald. They didn't give the billion to Donald. They said, we want you to do what Tyler Perry does for us.
Yeah. I think that's a smart move, though. I think it's better to invest in creators who know how to find talent and not just the creator and force that one creator to just keep dropping all the bangers. And I don't think anybody's really capable of doing that. And if you are, you're a very, 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 very rare breed. But Donald's smart enough to realize he can get other smart people and collaborate and then just give them the backing that they need. I'm all about that. Yeah.
That's the beauty of this, right? Because we see it. You go back and see Donald's music videos, there's brilliance behind all of them. And that's Hero, that's Steven, that's Janine. Now he has the president's daughter working with him as well. You know,
I want to say it again. There will be misses. I just need everybody to be prepared for it. And not just with Donald, I'm talking about just Black creators in general. As we're getting more and more leeway, I just want us as a group to just be patient with our creators until they can find their voice. And then you'll find what you like, and you'll stick with what you know. And you know, it's just an exciting time, man. Because
it's nice to have some stuff though that is out there, like in Atlanta and Swarm and some of these other projects. It's not just hood movies.
Yeah, like Schmoogadoon.
Yeah, Schmoogadoon. Boots Collins got a new one where he's got like this 10-foot baby that's running around. Y'all seen that one? That looks crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, something that's, I mean, I guess it's more on the documentary side, but something that's introspective. Out of LeBron's camp, he did Redefined on J.R. Smith.
Oh,
it's 4 episodes, about half an hour a piece. On Amazon, all 4 of them dropped. I think a couple days ago.
Okay, bet.
See, it's actually fantastic.
Okay, because J.R. Smith, he's got his own podcast too, right? On top of that,
he's on a podcast, but it's really about him going back to college. He went to North Carolina A&T, went to HBCU, and joined the damn golf team.
That's crazy.
Because remember, he went to the NBA straight out of high school. Right. So he petitioned the NCAA to give his amateur status back to join the golf team. He is on the golf team at a HBCU. I guess this year I think he's a sophomore.
So there's a lot going on. We're gonna wish all these creators success. Donald Glover, build that studio like Tyler Perry, build it in Atlanta, wherever you need to build it. And make it happen and keep pumping out great art. Anything y'all want to share with people when we get off here?
Does Jordan Peele have a kind of one of these kind of deals? Maybe with
Yes, he
a
does.
movie studio?
Monkey Paw has one with Universal.
Yeah, but Monkey Paw is kind of all him. I don't know if he's backed by anybody though, right? I think
it's all him.
Monkey
It's all
Paw
him,
is just
but
him.
they threw the money at him though.
Okay.
They threw a bag at him. Nope. Got made interesting looks for people. I thought Nope was good. That was just me though. But
Yeah, it's genre. It's like if that's your bag, you'll like it. If it ain't,
you know what's going on. Your message, subliminal messages he's putting in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we hope to see more of that. Next week we're doing what, Picard? No, we're doing Picard, right?
No,
No,
next week's Beef.
Beef. Yeah, so we're doing Beef with Ali Wong and
Oh, I
Steve.
keep hearing great things about it. I as a friend of mine who already watched it, and they were like, "It's dope."
You want to join us for it?
Yeah. Let me. Yeah.
You got a week. You got a week. You got a week when it comes out.
You got a week.
Does it come out like next Friday?
Not Friday. Yep.
Or no, it comes out tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited to watch it. So we're doing Beef. So, Randy wasn't here today, but I'll close out.
Safe, Randy.
Thank you for BingeWorthy. So at the end of the day, we gave it a full binge out. Even though it's hard to watch. It's the hardest full binge out to watch.
You know what? There is something to that. This was a difficult full binge out. It was a tough.
Difficult. Yeah. If you get through it the first time, congratulations.
You're finished.
You're finished.
Hey, we give out we give out participation trophies like vice president, like presidential first ladies.
Yeah. I have friends say I couldn't get through the first episode. I can get through the second episode. Chuck, I listened to the first episode you took me to. The second episode, I was like, what the fuck does he got me watching? I can't watch it because it just creepy. It hits you different than any other horror film.
Most people,
I was ready to tap out. I was ready to, and I knew that one, but 2 episodes left. I was ready to tap out. And episode 6 was it got me through.
Yeah, episode 6 is relief. Like
most people I talked to was like, I couldn't even get past the first. Most people,
it's tough. But it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you for supporting us. Thank you, Centel, for joining us today. Look forward to have you next week.
Yeah.
Thanks for Kai for coming in with your powerful insights. We definitely needed it. Hope I didn't overtalk too long on this episode. We missed you, Randy. We miss you, Courtney. Hope to see y'all soon. Y'all come back. And the Geekish Network is a network of people of color that give their opinions across all media, from everything from animation to video games. Join us and support us and subscribe to our network. Also subscribe to Centel's network at youtube.com/Centel. He covers the same things we cover, but he does it more artfully and sexy. We're the nerd version of this, and he's the geek version of this.
Hey, you'll see Chuck there too. Don't get twisted.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Digital Click for always handling us, making us look good, and getting our promotional materials together. And shout out to Rodney for tolerating us for overrunning the show for like 30 minutes. Thank you, Rodney, and appreciate it. And we will see y'all next week when we're covering Beef with Ali Wong and Steven Yeun for Netflix. Peace.